Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome back to the Fumble Live. Thanks for tuning in. We're talking about Kawhi Leonard and how he declined his player option and is still listening to pitches from other teams. We also were talking about a league that we don't normally get into, the NHL. There is some major drama happening between one of the NHL's best players and his estranged wife, and I cannot wait to just break down all of that mess because yeah, it's a doozy, you guys. Before we dive in, make sure you subscribe to our channel, tap the bell for notifications, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment below. Here's the Fumble Squad. I'm Devin Howard. You can find me on Instagram as @DevinHoward.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Jackie Ray. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at JRayTheFanatic. I saw y'all in the chat. I just want to say high five, Devin. Wait, what side? High five, because we called this news. Wait, I can't even see. I don't know what's happening. There we go. Yay. We called this news. Little spoiler alert. We called it. Y'all said we was wrong. We'll accept all the apologies in the chat right now. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I feel like we are owed a lot of apologies from a lot of different people for various things that we have called over the years that nobody has ever wanted to give us credit for. But you guys, let's talk about this Kawhi news, because Kawhi was kind of like this big question mark going into the off season. During the regular season, the belief was that he was definitely going to be packing up his bags and leaving, especially if the Clippers did not make a deep playoff run, which they didn't. And then after Kawhi hurt his knee, there was rumors about him feeling frustrated with the medical staff because they were mismanaging his injury. And that, to me and to you, Jackie, made us feel like that was even more of a sure sign that he was going to be leaving the Clippers and exploring his options elsewhere. And so now he has actually just declined his $36 million player option. That happened yesterday. But he is, Chris Haynes from Yahoo Sports says that he is open to hearing pitches from other teams after turning down that player option, but that he is still firmly planted in Los Angeles, which seems so weird and confusing to me. Chris says that he doesn't think Kawhi's free agent process is going to last as long as it did last time, but he also feels pretty confident that he will be returning to the Clippers. The Clippers are acting like they're just keeping their superstar. They're holding on to him. They're not even making any sort of plans as to what they would do if he does decide to leave. And if he is thinking about leaving, the Mavericks, I guess, are making the most aggressive push to land Kawhi. But yeah, it's a strange situation. I personally think that Kawhi would have been better off had he left the Clippers, if he does leave the Clippers, because as we've talked about so many times, there's no denying that Kawhi is one of the league's best stars. He's a great player, but he doesn't have that leadership ability, and that causes tension and frustrations between him and his teammates. He never says anything. He is not a vocal player at all. So I do think that going to a team where he can work with another co-star who's willing to kind of be more of that leader would be a much better fit for him. I think the Clippers are just going to be frustrated with him. He's going to be frustrated with the Clippers. So it's such a weird situation. And I just feel like if he leaves and goes somewhere else, he's not going to feel the same kind of intensity and pressure that he gets, because he doesn't want to be the superstar. He doesn't want to be the loud leader. So Jackie, just tell me your reaction to this news. Why is he listening to pitches from other teams? What is going on here?
First of all, when I saw this news come across my phone, I was at breakfast late lunch with my mom, and in this nice little swanky restaurant, and I just let out this laugh. I told y'all. And then everyone kind of turns around and looks at me, and I'm like, I still told y'all, whatever. And so I was so excited to see this news, because here's how I think it goes. We've seen this happen before, where guys exercise their player option, which they're totally in their right to do because they want more money, but they have every intentions of staying with that team. So usually when we see this happen, we'll see so-and-so has exercised their player options. Blah, blah, blah team is moments away from signing another deal because they've already had conversations before he rejected the player option. They came to some sort of understanding monetarily, and now it's just about finalizing the contract. That's not what we heard. What we heard was Kawhi Leonard exercised his player options with the hopes of staying in LA. The hopes. That's totally
Mm-hmm.
different from we're already in the works. We're just, getting the legality sorted out, and then we're going to sign. So then I, of course, go to Twitter because I'm petty and I wanted to drag all the Clippers fans that said this would never happen. But it was not. Fans are so fickle. You and I, when we've said that this was going to happen time and time again, people were like, no, it's not. This is where he wants to be, blah, 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 blah. It's not like San Antonio. Clipper Nation has totally flipped the script. Now it's all, we don't really want him here. He's not vocal enough. He's not a leader. And quite frankly, Paul George, I'm like, hold up, wait. When we said all of this, we were crazy. But now that he's exercised his player option, and you guys haven't heard that phrase that we do normally hear when a guy wants to say, with that whole, we're steps away from getting this finalized. Now y'all like, oh, he can go. It was still true then. Everything we said before was true. He's not a leader. You can't just be a leader on the floor. You can, absolutely, if you have somebody else who is the leader, period. The Clippers don't have that. They do not have that, and they need that. So the situation right now, honestly, even if Kawhi does resign, who's the leader on that team? You're going to be in the same position. So you either are trying to find a leader to bring in to be the Batman kind of little Robin to Kawhi, or you are considering shipping him out. It's one of the two, but you can't look this situation in the face and not understand what's going on. Kawhi, in my opinion, this announcement should have, if he really wanted to stay, like I said, I think it should have came with we're steps away from finalizing this deal, not with the hopes. That's just one of those very vague phrases.
Right. And also it's too vague of a phrase considering the rumors that we've been hearing with Kawhi. I don't think that it should offer anybody any security, and that's why I'm surprised that the Clippers aren't even really planning on him leaving. I mean, the guy has made it clear that he's open to leaving still, even though, the hopes are there that he stays in LA. I don't think that I feel like they're going to keep kind of trying this Kawhi Paul George experiment over and over and over again, hoping that they do better next year, and it's just not going to work. So I do think that they need to ship in a louder player, like you said, somebody who is really ready to step into that leadership role and just let Kawhi do what he does best, which is play basketball, and maybe that could work for them, but I just don't necessarily see that happening. At this point, Jackie, now that we've had all of these rumors, if Kawhi does decide to leave, do you think that that's a bad look, or do you understand where he's coming from, especially because he said that, or the idea is that he's kind of firmly planted in LA still?
I mean, that's an interesting question, because I think, I'm a big proponent of go where you're happy. If you're not happy here, if you don't think it's going to work here, do what you do. You've only got one career, one life. You did make all this noise, though, about LA is where you wanted to be. You had, I think Mike Glock in the chat said it earlier, you had your chance to go to the Lakers. Had you gone to the Lakers, you would have at least one ring right now. So, make it make sense. You either want to be here and you're cool to rock with the Clippers, or you don't. You can't have it both ways. So I think it would be a bad look based on all the things he's kind of implied, because he never really says anything. But based on everything that he's implied, if he goes now, technically it's a bad look. People are definitely going to judge him for it. But at the end of the day, if you want to chase a ring, if you don't think you can get it in LA, we told you wasn't going to. But if you just now got that revelation and you want to go somewhere else, then so be it. I'm never going to be mad at anybody except for KD, and that's only when he went to the Warriors. Because again, but aside from KD, I'm not mad at anybody else doing what they feel is best. And at the end of the day, even with KD, if his plan was to get a ring, he couldn't get it in OKC. He went to the Warriors and it worked. So if your plan is to get another ring, this didn't work. You tried it. It didn't work. If you want to try something else, I'm not going to be mad at him. Everybody else might be, but I won't be mad at him.
I won't be mad at him either. The only time I'm mad at Kawhi is when he took meetings with the Lakers before signing with the Clippers and took too long and made everybody think he was going to be joining the Lakers, and then he kind of screwed the Lakers over. That's the only time I'll be mad at Kawhi for this kind of thing. Not even mad at KD going to the Warriors. Like, fine, if you want to do that, go to the team you couldn't beat. That's fine. I don't even care. I'm like, just go for it. So if Kawhi leaves, he's got to do what he's got to do, Let's move on because this next story, this is like so up my wheelhouse, you guys, and it is drama central. It's a wild ride, so buckle up, everybody. Evander Kane, who is an NHL player, let us know if you like the NHL in the chat. We don't talk about it a lot on our channel. But his wife claims that he would tank his own team's games to make money to pay off his massive gambling debt while he was also cheating on her with an LA model. That alone, that sentence alone should tell you that this is like an insane, this is an insane story. So in a now deleted Instagram rant, Anna Kane, who is Evander Kane's wife, or estranged wife now at this point, said that the San Jose Sharks player had intentionally thrown matches, all while leaving his family destitute. She took to her Instagram story to post a bunch of stuff. I couldn't even include all of her stories because we would have been sitting here for a long time. But she basically wrote, she tagged the model that he's been cheating on her with, and she said, so do you feel good about yourself effing my husband when I'm at home pregnant and he can't even give me money to buy my daughter formula? Do you feel amazing with him after he cheated on you so much that you broke up? Now you can do this to another woman. She also said that her husband is a compulsive gambling addict, and she asked, quote, how does the NHL let a compulsive gambling addict still play when he's obviously throwing games to win money? Maybe someone needs to address this. Can someone ask Commissioner Gary Bettman how they let a player gamble on his own games, bet and win with bookies on his own games? We could probably throw up another image, Leo, if there's the second one is there. Yeah, this is where she tags the NHL. She asks Gary Bettman how they can let him gamble on his own games. And it does seem like he has a gambling problem because he did file for Chapter 7 bankruptcy in January, despite making $3 million just this past year and over $55 million during his whole career. In 2019, the Cosmopolitan Hotel of Las Vegas actually sued him for an alleged $500,000 gambling debt he incurred during the NHL playoff series. He got sued by the hotel, by the casino over there. His wife also took to her Instagram story again to divulge even more allegations of him sleeping with prostitutes and card counting at casinos with criminals who threatened to kill them all. Now, Evander took to his Instagram story to be the nice guy, and he wrote, unfortunately, I would like to address the completely false accusations that my estranged wife and soon-to-be ex-wife has made against me. Even against the advice of my legal team, I feel strongly that the public and fans hear this directly from me. I have never gambled or bet on hockey. I've never gambled on a Sharks game, never gambled or bet on any of my games, and I've never thrown any of my hockey games. He said that he had his personal best career and he was the most consistent he'd ever been this past season. So obviously that's not true. I'm just paraphrasing here because this could go on for a very long time. The league actually has launched an investigation. So he says that he plans on cooperating with that. He also posted another Instagram story, which, Leo, we can get that one up there. And he said this is about the cheating claims and the fact that he kind of like leaves his young daughter high and dry. He said, I love my daughter. I'll always take care of her in every way possible. I set up FaceTime calls and I visit her. But his ex-wife, he says, has, quote, refused me to see her and has unfortunately tried to use my daughter as leverage. I will continue to always take care of my family. That goes without question. I would encourage people to realize that someone who goes to this length to try and jeopardize someone's career with lies is mentally unwell. I hope this is the last time I will be publicly addressing any further misrepresentations. And then that's when the NHL posted their tweet, which is our final asset, Leo, if you want to throw that up there, announcing that they were going to be launching an investigation and looking into everything that's been said about Evander Kane, and they're taking everything very seriously. I don't mean to laugh because this poor woman, his ex-wife, is clearly in a lot of distress here and believes there's so much going on. Who knows who's right and who's wrong in this situation? But Jackie, I'm going to ask you, based on what you've heard from Anna Kane, do you think that it was right for her to publicly claim that he is a gambling addict, that he leaves his daughter high and dry, that he's cheating, and basically kind of put his career on the line based on her personal problems with him? Was that the right move? How do you feel about that?
I don't know if I can say it's the right move or the wrong move. It's the move you get when you play with someone's heart. Period. This is just y'all gonna learn this statement about hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. I saw Kevin Lang and Adam in the chat said she does realize if this investigation proves that she's telling the truth, that ends her money too. She has thought about that. I can assure you she has thought about that. While he was out there gambling away, she has saved up enough of her allowance. She's got some business plan in the works that she gonna be fine. She wants to mess up this man. I'm telling you right now, hell hath no fury. Y'all gonna learn. And I'm here for all of this. I do believe both sides of this is true, though. I believe that she's using the daughter as leverage because she feels some type of way about the cheating. Women do that a lot of times because they get their heart in the way and they feel like if your dad was a good dad, he would have been a good husband to me. I somewhat agree with that because I do believe you should have at least enough respect for the mother of your child that you shouldn't mistreat her because that is representation of what they think that they can expect in the future. However, if you guys can separate amicably, then you can be a good dad without necessarily being a good husband. But if you out here cheating, and if you out here cheating again and again and again, now my heart is involved. I've got this child for you. I probably am still in love with you. You get what you get, and we appreciate it because now we have stuff to talk about. He is definitely guilty, though. And you know, I usually fall on the side of the athlete. He's definitely guilty, though, because she's put out the feelers right here. Y'all have said in the chat, oh, she needs proof. This woman has receipts upon receipts upon receipts. She's saving those for divorce court. I can promise you that. But she got the proof. This woman is ready to battle this out, and I cannot wait. I don't even like hockey like that, but now I feel like I want to watch it because this is going to be fun to see.
You know, Jackie, I actually expected to ask you these questions and have you say like, oh no, she's taking advantage of the athlete. I thought you were for sure taking the athlete's side on this one. But, you know, when you have that Chapter 7 bankruptcy that he filed for back in January already as solid proof of something kind of fishy going on, $500,000 debt to a casino, that's like some Goodfellas stuff or whatever, or Casino, the movie Casino. It's basically like he's already kind of getting himself into trouble and showing that there's something more going on there. And I know I'm the opposite. I almost always side with the woman because I'm like, I'm going to believe you until I have a reason not to. And in this case, I read this, I was like, yeah, she is ready to fight. She for sure has some sort of proof or else she wouldn't put herself on the line like that. This is absolutely wild, and we'll see what the NHL has to say. I don't know if they're going to be able to prove if he would intentionally throw games. Do you think an athlete would actually do that if he had a gambling problem? Would you believe that he would throw his own games in order to win money, betting money?
I mean, no, because I think as an athlete, you still have that competitive edge. You still go in there and want to play your best. And then if he is throwing games, then that's a definite gambling problem because now you're in this amount of debt that is just insane. When you have what you said, $500,000 to a hotel for gambling. No, he definitely did this. That's insane. That's $500,000, you guys. That's insane. So, but what the NHL is going to do now is they're going to go back and they're going to try to figure out what games he bet on, and they're going to see, you know, did you have a little fake trip over here? Did you intentionally miss the puck over here? They're going to try to figure it out. I would be perplexed and bewildered if he was actually doing that. I can see betting on games, especially if you're going to bet, you know, betting that you lose, though, means that you really want your team to lose, unless you just think you suck like that. But I just can't see being an athlete and going in there and not playing your best because it's going to be obvious. You know what I mean? So I just don't know, but it's going to be fun to watch this one play out. Throwing the games is hard to do, I think, because it's not just you. You not only do you falter, the rest of your team has to falter as well. I don't know.
Right. I don't know either. I do think that it would be hard to be successful in intentionally throwing a game. And it's also funny to consider if he had been on a, you know, super winning team and they were walking away with the championship and all of that, the brand money that each of these athletes would have gotten probably could have outweighed whatever he was winning at the casino, and it wouldn't cause him to lose money in the process. So I don't know. I don't understand.
The mind thing, you know, like, when you have that kind, it's not even about the money, it's about the win, you know.
Yeah.
It's and you're constantly chasing that next high of winning. So he probably didn't even think about it like that. Dude's got a problem though, but that's for sure. And even if it's not a gambling problem, he got a cheating problem, thereby a wife problem. So he got problems either way.
This guy sounds like the Tristan Thompson of hockey. So I feel bad for this wife. Anna, my heart goes out to you, girl. Hopefully it all works out for you. But we can wrap up Need to Know News on that lovely note. So Jackie, let's get into the post up.
Yes, I see, Dion. I think you have been waiting for this one. This is not it, though. I'm going to let you know right now. What you're waiting for is coming. Because this one, I saw this and I was like, okay, first of all, where is security? Let's just break this down, you guys. I don't know if you know this, but people nowadays are completely crazy. There's Ken and Karen everywhere. They're having offspring that are crazy. You don't know when people are running up on you. Let me tell you one better. When you have tall people, I'm not super tall. I'm 5'11". I'm about 6'1", 6'2" when I wear heels. If you are out of my line of sight and then the first time I see you is you running up on me, that's not safe for either of us, because I don't know what your intentions are. You can't just run up on people. So I think that LeBron handled this one completely right, especially when his wife is with him and you don't know what intentions people have. And he knows he's the most hated on athlete in the world. You got to be safe. It's safety first, you guys. So I think he handled this one the right way. You guys take a look. It wasn't even a hard push. It was, I don't know you, you don't know me, step off. I'm here with my wife, go away. I was fine with that. I thought he handled, my only problem with this is, where the hell is security? Why is security run up so late? That's my only problem with this. This happened at the Usher concert, by the way. Fun fact, Usher has a residency in Vegas. I'm going to make my way out to Vegas now to see that. But, you know, he's out here trying to enjoy time with his wife, and then here comes this little guy running up. This fan can't seem to tell if it's a male or female, though. But she gets the point. You don't run up on somebody like this. He says, who run up on somebody like that phone first? He probably ain't know what that was in her hand, and she lucky she didn't get punched. It's a dude. I don't know. It's a dude, but yeah, I agree with that. LeBron's not going to punch somebody like that because he understands, you know, he's a brand within himself. But the average person, that might have gone down a little bit differently. This person says, LeBron getting hate for this is stupid. He had his wife with him in a crowded area and you got a random dude running up to them. Yeah, he should have shoved him away. Protecting your girl is always the first instinct and priority. Tim Chan, I like you. The hockey player is gonna need a new man in a minute. You clearly know how to treat a woman. Let me plug y'all together because that was a good one. That's very, very true. This user does not get it though. He says, I keep seeing this video. I don't know that it was assault like some people are calling it, but it definitely calls into question his good guy image. What did he think would happen in that environment? I think in that environment, you say, hey, LeBron, and you get my attention, but you don't just run up on me. You don't run up on anybody. I think LeBron handled this the absolute right way. Devin, what do you think about this?
I am with you 1000% because whenever you have anybody charging at you out of the corner of your eye when you're in kind of a busy place, your reaction is to get defensive. I would do that, you know, like there have been times where I've like probably instinctively pushed somebody away who got too close to me because it feels kind of threatening. And yeah, LeBron is probably used to having people running up to him all the time, but with that being said, it's still kind of alarming when all of a sudden some person who could be a crazy fan, you don't know, starts kind of charging at you out of nowhere. This was not assault. This was a defensive move, a protective move. He was there with his wife. Like, what do people expect? He's just going to be like, yeah, come up here all the time. Like, I don't need any personal space. It just doesn't make sense to me that people are even mad. It's just the LeBron haters always trying to find a reason to criticize.
Yep. Yeah, you guys, just so you know, these athletes don't owe you their time. I know you guys want it, but they don't owe it to you. So let me get to the one that I saw a lot of you in the chat that you guys were talking about. Let me give you a little bit of backstory. We have the LA Times here in LA. Here's a fun fact. Every single time you go to the LA Times, it'll let you read one and maybe a sentence of the next paragraph. One paragraph and a sentence before this little pop-up comes and says, if you want to continue reading, you can pay us $4 a month for a subscription. It never lets you read an entire article. So I find it a little suspicious that they let this whole entire, you didn't have to pay no money. It let the whole article, you could read it top to bottom. And there's one specific thing in that I don't like. Not one source is cited in the entire story. But let me let you see this tweet because this is one of those things. Once again, Hoop Central got that story from the LA Times. and said Westbrook, LeBron, and AD met at LeBron's house about 2 weeks ago to discuss the possibility of playing together. They talked about putting their egos aside and playing as one in their quest to bring the Lakers another NBA championship. Okay. How do you know this, sir? Let's go to this LA Times article, because I don't want y'all to think I'm making it up and speaking bad about Mr. Broderick Turner of the LA Times, but he says the same thing. Then he gets into specifics. This is the part that bothers me. He says they talked about putting their egos aside and playing as one, blah, blah, blah. James and Davis talked about the two of them changing positions if that's what was best for the team. James moving from small forward to power forward and Davis from power forward to center. Westbrook let James and Davis know he doesn't mind playing off the ball when James initiates the offense. Sometimes he did while playing alongside James Harden with the Houston Rockets. Those are very specific points in that article, and that is where the article ends. It does not say per so-and-so, per the housekeeper, per the chef. It doesn't say anything. It says that in the article ends. First of all, LeBron James hangs out with a lot of people from the NBA. He's got a lot of friends. He's actually quite likable inside the league. So him having people over to his house for lunch, he calls AD all the time playing video. You want to play video games, dog? That's just who they are. This is not tampering. This is guys hanging out. And if you're going to say very specific points in the conversation, I'm going to need a source. It's not tampering at all whatsoever. Devin, what do you think about this?
I don't think that's tampering either. I would never say that that's a tampering situation at all. But people are always very quick to, I feel like people always want to accuse the Lakers of tampering specifically.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, so they just, once again, another reason to hate for absolutely no reason at all.
Right. Yeah. Let's see what Twitter had to say. I have two tweets. I think two tweets from them, or maybe just one, from Twitter users who say, yes, it's tampering. No, it's not tampering. This one says, so we're not going to talk about LeBron having dinner 2 weeks ago with Russ discussing him getting traded, or does tampering in the NBA only matter when executives doing the talking? I can't have dinner without y'all assuming that I'm hungry. I have friends in the league. I can't just have dinner. Y'all be doing this extra stuff that doesn't make any sense to me. I think I have one more tweet from these people. So apparently LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook talked about and planned this whole deal 2 weeks ago. Please don't talk about tampering regarding the Suns talking with players on their own roster. It's crazy how much LeBron gets away with. Still hungry. Still got to eat dinner. Still got friends that I work with. I don't understand why y'all don't understand. Go ahead, Devin.
I wonder if LeBron going to watch that finals game, was that him also tampering because he was there supporting Chris Paul? We know that the Lakers were thinking about Chris Paul potentially. So is that tampering? Because apparently these guys are not allowed to hang out with opposing teammates or players on opposing teams.
Yeah, I mean, this is silly. And I think you're right. We know Magic would get tampering just when on talk shows talking about it'd be great to have so-and-so. The next day he'd have a $50,000 fine. I'm like, damn, I'm on a talk show. Can't talk? Like, what is happening right now? This is definitely Laker hate meshed up with LeBron hate. And now you got crazy people citing no sources at all and just making a whole conversation up without any real evidentiary facts about what happened. So good, y'all just go ahead with LeBron hate. But let's go on to this next one, because this next one, I just don't even know if I agree with this Giannis shade. I get it. Giannis is getting a little cocky, as he should. He got his first championship. Congratulations to him. But let me show you this tweet, because this one, I was like, okay. So it says, Giannis Antetokounmpo is back in Greece. I don't care. And this is what he says. I don't care about being the face of the NBA. KD or Harden can be. I want to be with my kids, my family. I want to win and enjoy the game. I want to be Giannis, the hard worker. I personally didn't see a problem with this. I was like, okay, I could see Giannis saying that, because he has been kind of like, oh, I just worry about what I do. He said that time and time again. But no, Twitter was like, no, this is he's out a little out of pocket with this. He says, okay, I'm all for the Giannis's awesome stories, but this one is reaching. What does he randomly saying he don't want to be the face of the league even mean? So he doesn't want to take endorsement, and it implies KD is trying hard to be. KD is just as much I want a hoop guy as Giannis. I don't think that at all. Like they're different. They are not the same. Let's go to this next one. because then I was like, okay, y'all really think this is a problem? This one says, why Giannis always got Harden in his head, and the next one says, this dude can't help himself from talking about Harden. It's getting weird. So this is what a lot of people started saying. He's talking about James Harden too much. I can't say that I've heard him mention James Harden a lot. I know that he's come up in conversations, you know, sometimes from a reporter, but I can't say that he's referenced him a lot. And then this one says he's starting to be a little bit too cocky. He says he has to stop referencing other players. I really like him, but why do this? And then this next one says, I agree. He could have just said he doesn't want it and left it at that. Giannis needs to be careful, as he seems to have lately become a little bit edgy and cocky. Sir, we want him to be edgy and cocky. There is nobody in this league that has a bunch of success that's not a little bit edgy and not a little bit cocky. This is his time to be a little bit edgy and cocky. I'm not mad at this statement at all. Some of y'all are, some of y'all are not. I think it's fine. Giannis is just saying, hey, if somebody else wants to be the face of the league, first of all, that's smart. Put that on somebody else, because you know when you become the face of the league, there's a whole lot of pressure that comes with that. So I'm actually okay with him not wanting this. But let's go to this next one, because I got to tell you, there's only one thing that I don't like about Uncle Snoop, and that is his overuse of a racist word that was used to demean us. I hate how much he says it. But if he could get rid of that word, I personally believe every sports, anything should be commentated by Snoop Dogg. This moment in time from the Olympics and him watching the oh, I know it has a specific name, but the horses doing their little dancing thing is amazing, and I love it. Take a look.
The producers have pulled some clips from the Olympics, and we don't know what sport it is or what event it has to do with. We'll watch it, and we'll call it like we see it.
You know, I'm down for that, so let's do a cold call. Horses, I like this. This is equestrian.
This is prancing.
They call this equestrian.
By the way, look at that horse.
Did you? Oh, the horse crip walking, cuz. You see that? On the set. That's gangsters of up. Hey! Oh, cuz. Oh, look at this, cuz.
Oh, come on, man.
This horse is off the chain. I gotta get this in a video, cuz.
Oh, you see?
Oh, my God.
Snoop said I gotta put the horse in the video.
Off the chain. I need that.
Horse crip walking is officially in the Olympics.
Man, you see that?
Play it one more time, man.
Gotta see that. The intro walk was
cold. Play it one more time. Play it one more time so we can see it. West Coast.
He made his own music. And the crazy thing about Snoop is he's not even trying to be funny. He's just being his authentic self, and I am here for every piece of it. If I could just get him to commentate one NFL game, that's going to make my whole entire life, I promise. Everybody else loves it too. This is so good to see how much he is embraced. He said, whoever is responsible for this level of hilarity needs a raise. Kevin Hart plus Snoop Dogg equals hilarity. And I legit cried watching this. If you don't remember him doing that little nature thing where he was calling the nature, that was great. It's on Peacock. Gary Turbo in the chat says it. I love it. Absolutely. Snoop, you the man for this one. This made my whole night seeing this. And I would just love, there was this moment, I don't know if you guys saw it, there was a moment where this Olympic swimmer did the high jump or dive or whatever, and she totally botched it. I would have loved to see Snoop talk about that one. That one was great. But let's move on to this one, because used to be back in the day that I absolutely hated the Celtics. I still hate the Celtics, but you know I love me some Jaylen Brown, and I love Marcus Smart. He just seems like a genuinely good guy. Awesome through and through, and he just gets it. You know, I say all the time on this show that I think the youth are our future. Some of y'all worry me. I'm not even gonna lie, but I do think the youth is our future, and he gets that as well. So take a look at this tweet from this young man, and then specifically look at how Marcus Smart retweeted it. So the kid, Ethan Gaber, he posted, he said, met Marcus Smart today, and then Marcus Smart tweets, and I got to meet Ethan Gaber. I think that is so. Or Garber. I think that is so dope. I think it's such a good moment in time to just share, like, no, I met you as well, and that's great for me too. And then Ethan tweeted back, and I love Marcus's response once again. It said, Ethan said, that's me. And Marcus said, of course it is. It's all about you, not me, you the future. Aw, little tear. I think it's so amazing. I know, he's such a good guy. There was fans that were saying, damn, I really hate the Celtics, but I got it. He says, all right, Marcus Smart is my new favorite player, but only when he isn't playing the Bucks. And there were so many tweets like this because people really get that he got it. I love this. Devin, I know you're all like, aw.
Yes, I think it's so sweet. I love that. It's very nice.
Yes.
It warms my heart.
Made that kid's whole entire life, I'm sure. He's going to hang on to that tweet for a long time. And I think, Marcus, you nailed it on that one. I'm so proud of you. This is what I'm talking about, though. Between you and Jason Tatum, and y'all know I love me some Jaylen Brown, I hate y'all. I hate how much I like y'all. I don't like it. Stop this. It's getting too much. Speaking of youth, all right, Zion is still pretty young, so we can put him in this category. Young people do make a lot of bonehead mistakes. Both of the individuals in this situation made a mistake because this girl did not have to put, if y'all are trying to, if you have goals and aspirations to be a get around girl, you can't let your business get around. Okay, let me just help you out with that. She put Zion on blast. Y'all take a look at this. She's on Snapchat. There goes Zion Williamson. She pulls it over, says, do you still want a link? So there's two problems with this. The two problems. When I first saw this, I was like, okay, first of all, why is she putting, now you done messed up the link. If you did want a link, you ain't linking now. I can tell you that. That's number one. Number two, she looked very, like a just normal. And we're used to these guys being with these little whole Instagram models that have a whole bionic body. Their whole body is manufactured. That's what we're used to seeing. And you put yourself out there for scrutiny. And I'm only going to put the nice one that I saw. People were dragging her to heaven and back. He goes, now he's down, catastrophic. Because now they put, and this is probably one of her worst pictures. But of course they're going to grab it and they're going to put you out there like that. This don't mess up. If this is what you're trying to do, don't mess up your money. That needs to be your goal in life. Don't mess up your money. But why is Zion doing this? Devin, why would you try to link with a random Snapchat girl? Not even Instagram. We going to Snapchat now? No.
It's because he's young. Zion doesn't know what he's capable of yet, I don't think. And I also think one of the standout qualities about Zion is that he is so humble. I have a feeling that when he was in high school and he was in college, I don't think that he was very popular. I don't think he was the confident, cool guy. And so even though he is such a big name, I think he still kind of hangs on to this inner maybe awkward kid, so he doesn't even feel like he has the game to go after the bionic body Instagram baddies. Right. So he's going for the normal girl, the normie, which is refreshing, but she really screwed it up. You never want to put your NBA hookup on blast like that. She thought that the clout was going to be better than Zion. No.
Nope. You messed it up. Good luck though. All right, this next one, you guys. Devin and I have offered to pack, even hire the movers for Kyle Kuzma. Bye-bye. We're so glad to see you go. My offer still stands. I will help tape up boxes. I'll do whatever you need me to do to make sure you get out of here in a timely fashion. I don't even want to see you around the city. I just need you to go. But this post starts out hilariously wrong. I just want you to see how it starts. So Sideline Sources says, Dudley and LeBron threw Kuz going away lunch. They tagged Jared Dudley in it. And then the first thing you see right after that says, Bron been planning that lunch in 2019. And it just kept going from there. But here's the crazy part. When I think about going away lunches, I'm thinking, okay, the whole team came out. It was in this swank little, no, this is like some round the way dive Mexican bar. They don't even have a big screen TV. It's my TV in my house is bigger than the TV they got on the wall right now. I was like, where are y'all at? And so people were dragging them, of course, but most of them were just dragging, saying that they were happy to see Kyle Kuzma go. This one said they probably made Kuz pay. This one says bro ain't deserve that party. Y'all are just so bad, and I love it. I'm here for all of this. And this one says, never seen LeBron so happy for a player to leave since Delonte West. Y'all so petty. And this one said they probably poisoned his food. Kyle Kuzma is not getting any kind of love. Here's the thing, though, because I was about to go drag them because, I have the time. But here's the restaurant that they went to. So if you see on the bottom, first of all, they only have just over 3,000 followers. And then right there on the bottom, they have a GoFundMe page. And then, of course, they've got LeBron in their story. But then when you go to their GoFundMe page, they also have LeBron on their GoFundMe page, and I think they're legit trying to make some money. They're trying to make $3,600, which is not a lot of money. Right before Showtime, they were at $1,465. But his message is actually one that we've seen for a lot of restaurants. You know, they had to close back in March, like a lot of businesses. They did what they can to like do catering, you know, to-go services, things like that. But they're barely staying afloat. And so they're asking for help from the community. So technically, I think this is a great thing that they had this party at this small restaurant where only a few Lakers even seem to go to. But now this is a good thing for that restaurant, can help keep this small business here in LA going. I know a lot of people criticize LeBron for not being out and about in the city this way. Maybe this was intentional. Even if it wasn't, I think this is great that now this small business gets a profit off of this. So I'm actually okay with this. I hope they made Kyle Kuzma pay, but maybe make him get the tip at least. But Devin, what do you think about this?
Well, I think, first of all, it's really nice that they are supporting a restaurant that isn't like the swanky Beverly Hills, you know, super nice spot that doesn't need any help. I think that that's really cool. But I think that Kuz probably would have appreciated if they went to like the going away dinner at Mastro's Ocean Club or something instead of this little small place. But hopefully he probably is the one that left the tip. They probably weren't going to be like, dude, we're covering all of you, because they've been having to cover for him for years now.
Right, exactly. So glad to see you go. Like I said, now I can unfollow you. You know, I had to follow you because you was a Laker. Now I probably won't unfollow you because it's just going to be fun to see. I actually hope you glow up somewhere else. I really do. I'm just glad to see you leaving here. So let's get on to this next one, because we've seen a lot of little Olympic clips here and there. I haven't actually watched maybe 2 races. I've watched a couple of track and field events, but I haven't actually watched a lot. But this one is amazing, because if you don't know who David BLOUGH is, he is the 3rd string quarterback for the Detroit Lions. They had a watch party for him for their 3rd string quarterback, which for me is great because his wife, Melissa Gonzalez, qualified for the 400-meter hurdles in the semifinals, and his reaction is fantastic, number one. Number two, I think it's amazing that they let him use this, you know, team room to watch it. But he's a good husband. You guys see how he reacts watching his wife. Take a look.
And a top girl here,
gotta go.
Is the clear favorite to just get through this.
Gotta go.
Right now, they want to get through those first 3.
We gotta go.
Cleanly, they want to make sure they're able to establish their rhythm.
We gotta go, Mel. We gotta go, Mel.
Good running from Ketchup.
We gotta go, Mel. We gotta go, Mel.
I love that. I love to see how excited he was. He started off at the very beginning. It's a much longer clip, but at the very beginning, he was just telling her, you only got to get 4, babe. You only got to get 4. And it was like this constant increase of emotion. It was just great. I love seeing this. I love to see the support from a husband for his wife. I love that he actually has a wife that's in the Olympics. This is amazing. I thought it was fantastic. Y'all did see that moment when he jumped out of that seat, though, and this fan was like, oh, hold on now. We know you only 3rd string, but you almost went on IR at 152, which is where he jumped out of the seat. He's not going on injured reserves. He's just cheering for his wife, and I love it. This user loves the fact that it's a kind of a team thing. He says, what an accomplishment. She's going to get a gold medal. Congrats. So I love that. I'm sure he meant she. I think that is a typo. And then this one says, I love to see it. I predict a very great year for the Lions. I love this. This is fantastic. I just love to see the support from anyone who has a family member, friend, loved one in the Olympics. We saw that one from Alaska last week. This is fantastic. So speaking of Olympics, though, this next one, I'm not even going to introduce her. I don't know who this girl is. I went to her Twitter to see what she does. I think she just kind of makes a lot of funny, not Twitter, her TikTok. I think she makes a lot of funny TikToks. She herself only follows, I think, like 40 people, but she has a ton of followers. But Simone noticed her and all that she's doing and followed her back. This is the reaction you have when Simone follows you back. Take a look.
Just woke up. Simone Biles follows me on TikTok. Sir, do you know who Simone Biles is?
Really?
The Olympian?
I have no idea.
She follows me! She follows Jordan, got a thumbs up, she's an Olympian! All-American! Follows me on TikTok! You go, Simone! You keep flipping, I'ma keep flipping out, baby!
Facts. I'm gonna keep flipping out. I would lose my entire mind if I woke up and Simone. I would be like, "Is this the real Simone? Am I being punked? Is this a burner account?" I would be so. Well, first of all, it'd probably be more of a reaction if LeBron James followed me at back. But y'all know what I'm saying. I would flip all the way out. This is a beautiful thing. That is the exact right reaction. But this next one, I cannot believe this one is actually real, because I actually had to go through. I was like, no, this has to be fake. This has to be some sort of green screen. Why would you do a 3-on-1 MMA battle? That does not make sense. But on Saturday, there's an elite fighters event that takes place in Poland, and they have a 3 versus 1. And some guy named Kung Fu Panda took the challenge, because I don't know what his real name is, and apparently nobody else does, because I searched and couldn't find it. This person had my exact reaction. I'm struggling to think how anyone else thought this would be a good thing. These are all the names of the other fighters. But look at them standing there. Even if they weren't good fighters, it's 3 against 1. So I don't know how y'all think this was going to go, but y'all take a look. This wasn't very long. Take a look.
Nie wiem, kto wygra. I lecimy, ale na pewno długo to nie potrwa. No nie, zdecydowanie długo to nie potrwa. Nie ma możliwości, żeby w jakikolwiek sposób Kung Fu Panda wyszedł z tego, bo tutaj już idą solidne młoty i jest przerwanie tego pojedynku.
Don't come help me. Don't come over here helping me. Don't do that.
Krzywda się nie stała. Wyrazy szacunku są. Dokładnie tak, przeżył swoje.
Devin, I mean, I don't even care about the money. All you had to do, okay, form a plan. You go high, I'm gonna go low. This will be about 30 seconds. Why would you volunteer for this?
I don't know. I have no idea, Jackie. I really can't tell you. I don't know. I would never volunteer for something like this.
Kevin Lang in the chat says, this concerns me. I am concerned that y'all have this event when we know how brutal and how hardcore this fighting is. I'm concerned. Somebody need to put me in touch with the people in Poland, because I am concerned. I'm concerned. But let's move on to this next one. We talked about Simone Biles earlier. We're going to finish with her now. Let's get into what we not going to do, because I'm very concerned. Kevin Lang, you know how concerned I get sometimes. This one concerns me so much, because since Simone has withdrawn, she's been more open on her Instagram about, as she continues to train, what her body is doing. So now that she's been doing this, she posted on her Instagram on Friday, and she's kind of showing us in her practices and how it's just not firing. So her mental health block actually has a name in the gymnastics world. It's called twisties. I've heard other people use it too, but I've heard it more in the gymnastics world. It's called twisties. And basically, if you look it up, it says that that's a phenomenon that causes gymnast bodies to not be in sync with their minds, which can be dangerous and unnerving given the flips. So basically, if you look it up, it says that once you have the twisties, you can legit hurt yourself, because you don't know what's going on, or your mind might think you're doing one thing, your body is doing another. And like I said before, when she pulled out, you could legit hurt yourself if these things are not syncing up. So on Friday, she posted to her story, and I'm going to just read it to you, because again, this is her kind of showing her in practice and all the things we've seen Simone do. Again, this is a woman that is doing things that no one else can do, and the Olympic Committee recommends other people don't even try. She's that amazing. So on Friday, she posted this to her story that says, literally cannot tell up from down. It's the craziest feeling ever. Not having an inch of control over your body. What's even scarier is, since I have no idea where I am in the air, I also have no idea how I'm going to land or what I'm going to land on, my head, hands, feet, or back. I also have no idea how I landed on my feet on that vault, which is what she showed in the story. Because if you look at the pictures and my eyes, you can see how confused I am as to where I am in the air. Thankfully, I landed safe enough, but I also don't think some of you realize I was supposed to do a 2.5. Now, I showed you that video last week where she said she was supposed to do 1.5 more twists. She's like, I was supposed to do 2.5 compared to the 1.5 before it looks like I got shot out of the air. So this to me sounds terrifying because, like she said, when you think you're one, your body is another. You could land on your head, you could land on your back. These could be major injuries. So I don't know if you guys heard the news, but she's coming back and she's planning on competing tomorrow in balance beam, which is this tiny little death trap. I've always thought that it's this tiny little death trap that people flip on, and you have to be very, very precise. You have to know where you are at all times. You have to know where your feet is, your body is, your head is, to do all these flips on the beam. And then you have to do the dismount. There's too much that you have to be fully aware at all times while you're on that beam. And if she's still having the twisties, I don't think she needs to come back personally. And I don't care what you guys think. If she is still experiencing these things as of Monday, if she has the twisties as of Monday, she needs to not compete on Tuesday, because I don't know why she would. Part of me feels like it's a lot of the pressure. You know, people saying, oh, she's just a quitter. She's just a quitter. And I know we can tell from her constantly posting these moments in time where she's trying to get it together. She's working out. She's trying to get right. So now she wants to tell the world, I'm not a quitter. I was just having a hard time and now I'm coming back. You don't have anything to prove to anybody, especially if it means not only your mental health, but your physical health. This is not worth the risk. What people think is not worth the risk. So she's going to play tomorrow on that balance beam. Like I said, I haven't watched a lot of Olympics. I don't know exactly what time. I'm definitely going to post it on my story if you guys want to know. And I'm going to be watching this probably like she's a family member, because I'm terrified. I am terrified that she's going to go into this situation when she doesn't need to. She doesn't have anything to prove to us. She doesn't have anything to prove to you guys. She doesn't have anything to prove to Jeremiah in the chat, who stay mad. She doesn't know anybody anything. The only person she owes something to is herself. And if your body and your mind is not syncing up, you should not put yourself in harm's way on this tiny little beam that could do you in. You could get very substantial injuries if you don't land right, or if you land wrong. I don't like this. What we're not going to do is be a people pleaser, Simone. It is not too late to change your mind. If you still have the twisties by the end of the day today, please don't do it. It's not worth it. Devin, what do you think about this?
Well, I think I maybe have mentioned this before on the channel. When I was younger, like little, I did competitive gymnastics. So I had to be able to perform on the floor, on the vault, on the bars, and on the beam. And I will say, obviously, I was nowhere near Simone Biles' level of talent. But even at my young age, when I was pretty damn fearless, I would have tried anything. The beam was always really, really difficult for me because it is very, very narrow and you're expected to jump and land with precision. And I am very surprised that out of all of the areas of gymnastics where she could choose to come back, she's choosing to come back on beam. Luckily, I do think that Simone has the I don't know what the word is, maybe the self-assurance to back out if she needs to. I don't think that she's going to be a people pleaser. I think we've seen that she's embracing the support that she's been getting, and she's willing to sacrifice individual honors and team honors in order to protect herself. So I think that if she really isn't feeling well, she won't do it. But I think it is pretty wild. It's a very bold move for her. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I would come back on the floor. You know what I mean? That's way safer than the balance beam. So I am nervous. I mean, I hear what you're saying. You know, I do think there's still a level of pressure for her because she's an entertainer and she hears all the things. I'm sure she's getting a lot of support too. But I know she wants to prove to the world that she's not a quitter, you know, because there's been a lot of that narrative. And I hope she's okay. That's all I have to say about it. I just want her to be okay. Period. Even if she goes out there and doesn't do well and gets like a 7 or whatever, but she walks away with no injury, that's great for me.
That's a win. Yeah, for sure. All right, you guys. Well, let's wrap up the live show today. We're going to be back again tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So tune in, subscribe, leave a comment below, share this video with your friends, and have an amazing Monday, you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.